Hello, SpeedGaming 6. Welcome. This is the No Logic Summer 2022 tournament. We have an exciting race. This is game 2 between krelbel and Chexhuman. This is the winner's bracket right now. Round 2, I believe. And yeah, I'm very excited. These are two very knowledgeable runners. Chex is extremely experienced. The krelbel is less experienced, but I know he's been working on No Logic a lot this year, so it'll be really exciting to see how these runners handle the seed. And it looks like we are getting started here in just a second. All right. Link's house on krelbel's side, sanctuary for Chex. There's a shield in Link's house and a small key I did not see in Sanctuary.
That was a Turtle Rock small.
Alright, well, those can be handy to have at least one of them, depending.
With the somewhat rare not starting from Link's house on Chex's side.
Yeah, I think he usually does the Sank start, actually, if I'm not mistaken. There are a few that do it. He's one of them. A nice sword on the island. Just do a nice little funny auto walk thing.
Yeah, so whenever we see something like that, we wonder, how do we dupe that? That is an easily dupable sword, but the last race, I think krelbel had some... there was some dupable opportunity, and he said he just doesn't really think about that right away when he sees it. Doesn't think about duping.
I know some overworld freestanding items are easily dupable. I have duped the dam item and the floating island item before, but some of them are a little more tricky. I'm not sure what the difference is with some of the locations are. Like the race game is more difficult to dupe if it's possible. So I assume you would just do an overworld YBA for that one on the floating or on the Hylia Island.
Yep. Simple web. I think it could be in any direction. Alma, you can do as you want. Doesn't matter to me.
Yes, thank you to my co-com and tracker HiQ-Type. Tracking is definitely harder than commentary. I appreciate him doing the double duty here. Right, so we're getting a new Death Mountain Ascent or DMA from Chex. Just setting up a little screen wrap, so he's gonna hop directly to the entrance of the Old Man Rescue Cave. Meanwhile, krelbel is heading to Sahasrahla, possibly to Eastern, although I doubt it. We'll see where he goes after that.
Yeah, so krelbel has that sword from the Lake Hylia Island item that is often the second check that players make.
GT Small, Blue Cane, and Meyer Big in Sahasrahla. Chex rescued the old man very quickly. I missed what the item was.
The item was 20 rupees.
Nothing important. A Desert Small is nice to have, though. A very convenient key to have, even though we don't need it. Chex setting up a clip to get through the wall here. This is going to take him to the stairs directly below.
I think that's
nicely done.
No, hammer.
Oh, hammer. Yeah, hammer is a very good weapon, and it's a tool as well. Not required, but very convenient to have.
We had a combo tam shopping tam skip there.
He's doing the teleport to Graveyard Ledge. That is very difficult to do because people don't usually memorize the queue for that kind of terrain. But he gets it done very quickly and without getting murdered by boulders. Looks like he's gonna do a hula hand because the camera is just affected enough by descending the mountain like that.
It's
So
interesting that he only went up to 5 bombs. You often see players get up to, well, at least something close to 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely go to 10 when I remember to do so. Sometimes I just kind of autopilot out of there, but I doubt that's what happened to Chex. I think Chex is just thinking he's going to get a chest that has 3 bombs in it, probably. Because Chex is, you know, he's a really aggressive player and a very good speedrunner. I think he's just thinking he can manage with that many until, you know, he finds more, would be my guess. So both runners now are aware that the green pendant is vanilla at Eastern, which could be a relief because Eastern can be annoying to deal with depending on the items they come across. Finally, Link's house for Chex.
Does not reset. Does not reset the shield immediately. I know there are some people who are disappointed.
Yeah, you know, I have no problem with the level 1 and 2 shields, but I definitely don't like the mirror shield. There's some very aggressive bush throwing strats from Chex. It's actually hard to throw those bushes like that quickly. So maybe that was his plan. A hook shot, K45, wow. And they will be happy to see that.
Yeah,
because I'm sure krelbel is not going to skip that.
Yeah, we're powering up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at his next save and quit, he just does a Harapah and kills Moldorm with the hammer and gets the rest of the checks that he can get there. First ice rod in the library. I should mention this is a double rods preset. It's just a format for this tournament for multiple reasons. Oh, this is very anti-meta. Both of them cleaning out Kakariko. It's not even 10 minutes yet. A lot of runners would try. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We see a Thieves Town Big there in, what is it, Blindside. And that's an early cave state key.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is one of the 4 keys we can use to unlock the big key locks, like doors and the big chests in cave state. And we will be seeing some dungeons in cave state, meaning that we will access the dungeon via another way than the front door, whether it's a clip or a YBA, which is a potion glitch. When you enter a dungeon through a cave using such a method, your dungeon ID is not set, so the cave state key is going to be very useful in those situations. I'm enjoying krelbel's MSU, even though I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, that's Stardew Valley. You gotta play that.
Huh. You know, I've definitely heard of it, but I know nothing about it. I missed that Hera key on krelbel's side. That is convenient to have, even though The hook shot makes it not really as helpful, but it gives them an extra check. Or we might even see them use that key to open the swamp big chest as well, depending.
Yeah, so hook shot and Hera big key. We don't have a sword yet, but we do have a hammer on Check's side, so he's just gonna clear out Hera right away.
Yeah, I can't imagine he'll miss that sword for long. It's one of those locations that people usually just scout relatively early, but I could be mistaken. We'll see when he gets to it. Because I'm sure Chex knows how to dupe it, if from what you're saying. So he may even have a bottle before he sees it and be able to take advantage of that. The book in the big chest of Hera. You know, the book is a fetch quest, and they can't get the items from it right now, but I like having it because I just don't like orphaning item locations if I can avoid it. And we have a fire rod in desert for krelbel. There are a lot of good items available in very easily accessible locations in this seed so far. A very quick Moldorm fight for Chex. 3 hammer hits is all it takes. Just a pendant, but it is information. And there are other advantages to having Moldorm dead in a no-logic seed, which will probably come up later, and I'll explain more when that happens. So krelbel was, I don't know if he was damaging down or trying to just death warp for a save on purpose. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either there, but we did see on Chex's side that Bombos is on Ether Tablet.
That's pretty funny. Small key to pod. I mean, those keys might come in handy in niche situations, but usually not for using them in pod, though.
Sure, what's... Maybe it's a double hit setup. Oh, okay, so... I think I figured out what happened on Krelbel's side there. His setup requires getting hit by the Beamos twice, so he actually had too little health.
Map of Thieves. Yeah, that's a good point.
He death warped for health.
That makes sense. I have seen other runners do that setup before. I just didn't know that that's what he was doing. I couldn't remember his particular setup because there's so many different ways to do that. I've seen someone actually on the screen above the BMOs use the fireballs from like the whatever those enemies are called. There's so many different ways to do it. I assume that's an older way, and I haven't seen that in this tournament, but I have seen it done before. There's a lot of ways to do that quadrant glitch. And,
yeah, that is the older way. That's the way I always did. I would learn the new thing because it looks easier.
GT Big is another cave state key. Not that it really matters since he has the other one already, but it might come in handy if he wants to do GT and GT state.
Yeah, it is interesting because I don't know if I've tracked correctly, but he has at least 2 GT smalls. I may have tracked him an extra one. He may have 3 though.
There for sure was a GT small they both got as Sahasrara.
Oh, don't worry about it.
To be honest, not sure. Yeah. But yeah, so GT smalls, you're never gonna really have to worry about that in this mode. It's not like we're climbing. Another sword in the dam, wow.
That is dupable, by the way. relatively easy too. You're gonna want Samaria, but
Yeah, I've heard Sam talking about an East STC from Agina's cave, assuming that chest is closed.
and that
I don't know if
that chest is easy to close if you have opened it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That might not be the kind of thing Chex knows. That's sort of very niche, but possible. And you know how else you could dupe that one? Malmo?
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, actually, I do know. Did he just get another sword?
Yeah, we
I
see
might be
we
not
see
seeing correctly.
we see him skip the sword
Yeah,
at
he
Lake
did.
Island, and somehow it's going to be his tempered sword.
Yeah, that was a fast bomb juke. So we can use items and pick them up and press the direction away from the door when we pick them up, and that forces Link over a certain amount of pixels. So what he did was get past the transition and then approach it from the south, and it took him to King's Tomb, which is one room above on the Underworld map. And he did it very quickly as well.
I think I know what happened. So now I think they both have 3 small BT keys.
So no duping required, at least for swords this seed. They might dupe bottles later if they want to, and are able to. Can't imagine either of them missing those swords for long. And Krelbel doing Hyrule Castle despite having the TT Big Key, which doesn't surprise me. He always talks about this as a defensive play, just to make sure you're not missing something early on. But I don't think it really worked out for him this time, but...
Well, he did get the flute.
Maybe
the flute is in the map chest.
Okay, that's not nothing, but it... I mean, it will save him time, you know, a little bit over time. Every time he uses it over Chex, if Chex never gets that.
The crabs tried there.
Yeah. They really did. We're getting Dark Cross from Krelbel as well. He's doing very thorough clear for the castle. Chex sees the sword, making a mental note, probably. Hyrule Castle's small. That can come in handy. Although I am fairly sure Chex knows how to swim clip to the back of Escape, which is a little bit faster, but we'll see if he decides to do that. A glove could be somewhere easily accessible. Or not. Dude, scammed hard by Zora, typical. But I don't think it's a mistake to check it. It's just a choice.
It's interesting that he's not grabbing that sword right away. I mean, the sooner you get it, the more value you get out of it.
That is a good point. Although in the light world, it's not too bad, but I'd imagine he would grab it before he plans to do another boss fight.
I mean, this room right here, I mean, this would be faster with tempered sword.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't expect him to do the castle tower play right away, but he does have the key from Hera, and he is doing the second check with no fire source at all, which is perfectly manageable. It's just kind of obnoxious. Yeah, I think this room is a little more annoying than the pod dark maze, personally.
It's definitely more annoying without a sword.
Yeah, the guards definitely can see in the dark. And just a heart container for his trouble. Taking the slow death warp out. Krelbel into the Moldome fight, or about to be, rather.
So he doesn't have that hammer from Spectacle Rock yet. I imagine this is going to be very next
Yeah,
step.
this fight. That's a good point. This fight is kind of annoying with Fighter Sword, doing it the intended way. Handled nicely, though. And Chex is definitely clearing out the castles, which is not surprising, because he just did Castle Tower, so the flute is not going to be an advantage for Krelbel, but I do find it interesting that as not everybody will do this check, or like this series of checks, I mean.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it's so common for people to do this, even though they get a K-State key.
Right, that was the Desert Small. Okay. Interesting. Maybe Krelbel is not comfortable with the bomb clip.
Oh, he knows it. I think he just didn't think of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, maybe with only 3 hearts, that's a consideration as well, come to think of it. Chex is sitting on 7 hearts. But that is a really neat clip, because I'm just not going to learn hovering, so that's a good shortcut. A nice spec rock bomb jump, too. So hey, maybe he just didn't want to do both bomb jumps. It'd be totally compromised. But although he's still in 1-hit KO from the red Tektites on the other side, so he needs to be a little bit careful.
Whatever that was on the floating island, but it looks like Krelbel wants it.
Yeah, this might be that GT small, or A small at least. Oh, pod small. The Chex got it too, but I just couldn't remember which key it was. So, but interestingly though, Krelbel has been to Desert, but he didn't follow that up with the K45, like to Agina loop, because he would have gotten the hook shot in K45, so kind of curious when he's going back for that. I know he wants it. He's talked before about how he will only do YBAs if he has to.
Yeah, so Chex found the Hyrule Castle small key. I forget where that was, but he's headed to the Sanctuary basement with that.
It might have been in the waterfall, because Krelbel hasn't been over there yet. Or one of those South Shore or Zora area checks, I'm pretty sure.
Right, once he gets these chests, we're likely to see the bomb juke to Ganon fall. Nope.
A nice bow, though. The blue mail, I'm sure he probably doesn't want that, but again, oh well. Yeah, he's not doing it. That is a little bit surprising, but not a huge deal. Maybe he just doesn't want to do it for one check, because yeah, I don't think yeah, it would be just the one check. He wouldn't be able to get into Pyramid Fairy from there. Getting his sword. A nice, funny auto walk thing.
Well, we got a test there whether the bush can be hit with arrows. The answer is no.
Okay, where is he going now? Oh, I know what he's doing. This looks like he's gonna do the bomb juke to Thieves Town. It's a very powerful trick if you are able to do it.
It is, in fact, a double juke. You need to juke in this... Oh, he hasn't done Uncle. Fair enough. But probably going to juke the Thieves Town. You're probably right about that. But it's not just a juke. It's a juke in a deep door, followed by a second juke in Thieves Town, which is sort of blind because your sprite is partially invisible, depending where you are.
Yeah, I see how he's throwing the bomb and like buffering the frames to, like with it. It's just he's judging his movement based on the bomb, and yeah, thank you for elaborating on that. I was gonna say it is notoriously difficult, but you covered it pretty well there. He's got to do the second one, is what it looks like he's doing right now.
Yeah, so he's using the Zygzag's movement to count frames. He wanted exactly 2 frames of movement there. I think.
Yeah, nicely done.
Alright, krelbel going out of his way to pick up the fire shield. Some people are going to be very upset by that.
I mean, it's, you know, it's his race. He can make those decisions however he wants to.
Desert. I thought I was missing one of those big keys there.
Oh, they do have the desert big key?
Yeah, they both have it now.
Okay. Yeah, since they already have the desert small, it's nice. Even when I have fire and the big key to desert, I like to glitch to the boss anyway, so I can steal the key, but that is not going to be a concern for them. Most likely. Yeah, there are other places you could use that key, but I mean, that usually you need some kind of a plan before it's worth it to go to that effort. To answer a question, chat, no, I'm not sure what the sword, okay, so there were swords we know about were Hylia Island, the Dam, and Mini Moldorm. So they both have all 3 now. I'm sorry, I don't know if that answers your question.
So meanwhile, Chex picked up the Cane of Samaria there in the second chest at Thieves Town.
Now that is personally my favorite item. You can do a lot of glitches with that. It's, you know, good for, you know, getting around, duping items. It's just a variety of things you can do with it. It can delete doors as well.
So I'm not sure our situation with hook pushing. You're going to be more knowledgeable than I am, like, but we do have the hook shot and Samaria now, along with the bow.
Yeah, he needs an item to manipulate his search index. I don't think he has any, so that would be like, ideally the lamp, but there are setups with the mushroom and powder. Some of them are getting a little bit silly with this meta, but it is possible to use the mushroom to fake powder by jumping off a ledge, even if you don't have Samaria. And also, you can fairy revive or use a bomb wall with arrows, I believe it is, to set an index as well. But those kinds of indexes are kind of like a one-time use, so you have one chance to set up your trick after that. So yeah, he could do that.
I think we have I think right now we just have the bomb wall option. And I've seen at least Hodgso do that.
Yeah, I think I've seen Krithel do it as well. It's certainly possible, but you only get one shot after that to do your trick, whether it's a hook push or an overworld conveyor, or, you know, whatever you can think of that you would want to misslot an item for. Although, yeah, so he could do that. I'm not sure what the value for the bomb wall index is, if it is a high value, like 10 or higher, because that's the value that you want to do it like a traditional Samaria hook push with sword beams.
Alright, so krelbel wins. He finds 2 fire rods before Chexhuman finds any.
I can't imagine he'll skip desert for too long. He'll be there at some point. Or a pod as well is normally something that's always cleared out in no logic. And just to elaborate on something I said earlier, both runners have accessed dungeons in cave state. Chex did go out and reload the dungeon into Thieves Town state though, but he accessed it from the Uncle Passage, so he was in cave state. That's why he was able to unlock all those doors. And krelbel used a clip called Kiki Skip to access Pod via the entrance of Spectacle Rock Cave. Or exit, however you want to think of that. And we have a crystal at Thieves Town. Chex gets his first crystal on the board.
Interesting. I thought I saw that they both had the Thieves map, but apparently not. Not sure we've seen a map from Chex in the Dark World. I'm pretty sure he has several Dark World maps, though.
The map of Thieves was in the right side of Desert, I believe. So another interesting point that you may not know if you're not familiar with glitched modes is that Chex is able to access all of the buildings on this screen without the Moon Pearl, because the method he used to get to Thieves Town, the double bomb juke, did not transition his world state. So the game still thinks he's in the light world, even though he went to the dungeon from the Uncle Passage and then exited Thieves Town to the overworld. So if he does a screen transition, it's loading a light world screen, even though we have palettes from the dark world and everything looks a little funny. But he's in Kakariko Village now, as you can see, and he is activating the flute.
The blue potato.
Blue potato.
So-called because we don't technically need it for anything in glitch modes.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have, but I have often forgot that I had the flute activated, though, at times, and sometimes I just run to places. Because there are a lot of seeds you just won't have it, so you can just make a habit of just trying to dash everywhere.
Yeah, so Chex is headed for Desert. That will get him his fire rod. He has no bottles, but those who understand hook pushing better than I have to start talking about how close he is to go mode, which of the lamp or powder he might need or want to be able to hook push all the things.
Well, with powder, if he doesn't save and quit or do, there might be a setup with the ledge dash thing that people such as Tam and Fox have been raving about. It might be possible to do the same thing with the ledge dash with the powder index, but I'm not sure. But if he shoots 2 arrows into the wall and uses the powder and saves and quits, like within a certain frame window, it will give a high index, but otherwise it would just set the index to 6, which makes it definitely harder to do a hook push. It is possible. He would need, I don't know, it would just be easier if he had like silver arrows, because the ice rod is one of his only other sparkly items, and that it's just a little bit more finicky with the way the Ancilla slots work. I don't think he's thinking about go mode yet. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah, people in chat, some of our experienced runners are confirming that, yeah, that he would definitely want the lamp, especially for swamp. And interestingly, we don't know our last pendant. So meanwhile, krelbel looks like he's having some tech issues maybe, but he's doing a statue drag to Helmasaur, which is a glitch that will take him to the boss's room without walking through the dungeon normally. It just involves bypassing a transition, screen wrapping, and manipulating the camera, and it's just a way that we can get to Helma using only bombs and the statue pulling animation. And we get a bottle on Bombo's tablet.
So that is dupable, and it should be easily dupable. So it turns out Bombos is the default tablet. So whenever you read a tablet, it's Bombos, except for one place in the world where it's hard-coded to be Ether. So what you can do is you can YBA away from the Ether tablet screen to East Death Mountain, and then read the Ether tablet, which will in fact be the default Bombos tablet, and you will get a second bottle. So if Chex is going to be heads up on it, he could get a second bottle right away.
That's very interesting. I had no idea that that was a thing. Not sure if Chex knows that, but yeah, that I don't know. I'm curious what he's gonna do. It looks like he's just heading to pod right now, so we're gonna see the same or similar bomb clip to what krelbel did. I'm not sure if he used the same setup that Chex is using, but yeah, Chex is doing the teleport method. So someone is speculating that the bottle might be go mode if he dupes it. I mean, Chex definitely does do a lot of seeds with difficult go modes, and he does them quickly too. So we'll have to see what he's thinking. But if I was him right now, I would still be doing Chex because we need info on dungeons, like any maps or medallions that he finds might ease his mind, if depending on if Meyer is a crystal or not.
So I'm trying to find out if Rebel's stream is still up here. Give me a minute.
Thank you. Okay, I did not realize that I apparently made a pun there. That was definitely not intended.
So Rebel's stream looks like it's down.
Oh,
We don't
that
know
is
what-
really unfortunate.
We don't know what's going on there. Hopefully it's merely the stream and not his computer.
Yeah.
Alright, but I'll try to check in on that.
I appreciate that, thank you. So Chex is just clearing out pod. It is nice and peaceful because the clip that we used to get here from Spectacle Rock wraps the entire underworld map, and conveniently that it despawns all the sprites, including the invisible overlord sprite that controls the falling bridge. So it's a very common play to just loot the place in no logic.
Yeah, I wonder if he did that just to get items while he was thinking about going. I'm pretty sure he should know the. I'm pretty sure he knows the way to dupe Bombo's tablet there. And he could do that repeatedly. He could do that as many times as he wanted. He could have 4 bottles from just the one on Bondo's tablet.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he went up to 4 bottles. So Chex, you know, I mean, it's good to have margin for error, but Chex is like very, very proficient at this game, including the glitches and no logic. And he's just such an experienced speedrunner. His sense of time and time management is very keen. I would be surprised if he went up to 4 bottles, because it's not going to be necessary to have 4 bottles. At least I wouldn't think. But we'll see what he does. He might. I've been wrong before, definitely.
Yeah, so he's probably going to beat Pod here and head to Hookshot Cave at least.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave with the hookshot is a comfy play. I know Chex, you know, can hover, even though he might not be the strongest hoverer, but having the hookshot does kind of make it a no-brainer play, you know, if you just want to keep looking for stuff. And you can also get the Super Bunny Chex while he's there. So there are a few different ways, or a couple different ways, I should say, to get to Hookshot Cave from Pod. And I'd imagine he's going to do the bomb juke on the right side, but there are a couple setups for the quadrant glitch as well. And you saw him taking damage with the statue pulling animation in the stairway, which stores the statue pulling animation. And he's gonna bomb himself in the door twice in a precise manner that allows him to bypass this transition in the front door.
Yeah, he was actually so good on his first air grab that I think he actually had to pause to make sure he didn't go too far.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be too quick. That's a good point. He gets a bomb in right away before even getting out from behind the spikes. I've seen people do that once in a while.
Yeah, he tried and it looks like he missed though.
Yeah, it's probably dependent on the boss pattern whether that works or not. I don't think he could see what he was doing there, but that was a fast fight. Very nice.
Chex is so fast, he finished the statue drag, even though he didn't even get to Pod while krelbel was in the middle of his.
Yeah, so Pod is a crystal. Yep, going back in. He thought about it. Otherwise, he would have just saved and quit from the overworld there. But yeah, I guess we're not getting a Hookshot Cave play, which now it does take time to set that up. He has to run over to the right side.
Wow, that's interesting. I really would have thought he'd dupe that bottle at least once. Now you can't. I'm pretty sure you can now that you've checked Ether. He may just not have thought of it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe he has known of it before Crystal and Skullwoods, by the way. But the pressure of doing a race, because I'm sure Chex feels pressure, even though he is a very strong runner, because it's just the nature of doing a race. So he just might not have thought of it. So right now he's setting up what's called a citrus clip. And the goal of this is to get off the mountain. We call this a death mountain descent. And you don't really have that many good ways of clipping when you're a bunny, so this is a good way to do it for this case.
Yeah, so this is a play for Skullwoods. Having seen that crystal, Skullwoods is easy to do without the pro. You just need to get there and then die inside the dungeon, and you will have link state for that overworld screen.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. That's what I was kind of talking about with the fake worlds. Only instead of accessing like it through a dungeon, like traveling through the underworld from the Uncle Passage to Thieves Town, this is just a dungeon revive, which will change the world state to light world. But it's the fake dark world because he's already on a dark world screen. So unlike a no glitches rando, if you did this like in say in like cross keys or because I don't know when this would come up otherwise, when you exit in a no glitches seed, you'll still be a bunny, but that's because they have a patch for no glitches seeds. This is vanilla behavior. He'll be a link on the overworld as well for this specific screen. And it's so nice when you get the first Skullwood Small from somewhere else, so you don't have to worry about getting locked in. And that lamp is very good news for Chex.
Yeah, so at least one person theorized in chat that lamp would be go mode for Chex.
I would agree with that, because Chex is very good at all kinds of glitches. The one bottle will be nice with Samaria when he needs to do like door glitches, but with the lamp he can do hook pushing, using standard setups that are typically easier to do. He can also set up overworld conveyor if he wants to with the lamp and his bombs and arrows. So I'm pretty sure this is very comfy for Chex right now, and we're just going to see a lot of boss rushing for information.
Yeah, almost surprised he's checking this chest. I think he might not if he didn't have Samaria.
Perhaps, yeah. It is faster with Samaria. He still could be thinking about Meyer being an issue. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see him access the Meyer area somehow after this just to check on the medallion, or I don't know, we might see him like dupe dungeon prizes just to get more info, because I do not believe we know the last pendant yet.
Yeah, so
Because with
the dungeons he's going to be thinking, what he's going to be thinking about completing, the sort of more difficult dungeons to complete in this position, from this position, are going to be Swamp and Mire.
Oh, Swamp is going to be absolutely no problem for Chex. I mean, it's not convenient, but he can do it. Because he can just do the Death Hole Argus from Desert to satisfy the boss kill requirement. And since he's killing Moth... What? That was such a fast fight. Are you serious? Wow, Chex. That was really good. Wow. Okay, I bet he wishes that was in, like, one of his, like, vanilla PB speedruns. Like, that was such a fast fight. Or maybe he already has it that good. I don't know. But anyways, sorry, I was trying to make a point about Swamp. He can... Since Mothiel is now dead, he can dupe the crystal with a Samaria hook push from the front door, and he can get there in Link State without the Moon Pearl by clipping from Hera. And he might have to do shenanigans to unlock the doors, but we'll see. And he also knows fake clippers as well, so I know Chex is able to tackle Swamp without the flippers. He's got options.
Trinex, we should be able to hook push to Trinex, right? Or does that require a stuck push?
You can definitely do the Samaria hook push. But he can do the stuck push as well, because he has lamp, bow, bombs, and boomerang. So he can do what they call a 0A stuck push. The Samaria one works as well. If you want to, you use the slot 9 block and the sword beam setup, or you could use the fire rod as well if you you know, accidentally take a hit on the way and you don't have full health, it is possible to do with the fire rod as well.
Yeah, so
So
congratulations to anyone in chat who didn't sort of tune out partway through that explanation of hook pushing. It's very complicated. Are we light? No. Are we gonna light the torches? 3 lamps suggests not. I wonder. Is this really faster than lighting the torches?
if you get it quick, I would say yes. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure an NMG runner could tell you how long these cutscenes are. Because I believe it's the same length for this one, the one in Pod, and the one in Meyer. But yeah, he misslotted or attempted to. I don't know if there was a mistake there. Misslot a Samaria block into slot 9. And then he's gonna lay another block or attempt to. But he's also creating dash dust by tapping A, which takes up another slot in the memory for the items that Link creates, which are called Ancilla. And it looks like he's having a little trouble, which it definitely can happen.
Light the torches of shame, Chex. Do it.
Okay, so he's got the slot 9 block and the second block. He detonates the block and beams the torch. That's important to not beam the wall you're trying to go through. But there is a way to dodge the Terminator, but you have to buffer and make sure. It's basically a 1 in 4 chance, from what I understand, that you don't stop on the pixel. So he gets it, and that probably didn't save any time over lighting the torches, but it was cool.
All right, I want to give. And there's the second pendant. Give us 1 out of 10, chat. How do we feel about that hook push to Landmo?
Well, the fight itself was good, and he has the full pendant info now, so I am pretty sure he's going to make a play to check the Meyer medallion soon.
Interesting. Do we have Vanellope? No, I think those Desert and Hera swap, but it's 3 Light World pendants. So that makes Meyer, Swamp, and Turtle Rock all crystals.
Yeah, the only concern for Chex is the Meyer medallion, I'm pretty sure, because Chex is very capable at a variety of glitches to tackle the dungeons. Even if he doesn't have the Meyer medallion, he might just dupe it through Hera. Or dupe the crystal, excuse me.
Alright, so pop quiz. Where's he going now? Somewhere. Oh, Swamp. Got it.
This could be Death Hole Argus. He could also YBA south to Meyer from here, or hook push south to Meyer, or I don't know, the desert is kind of crossroads, but he's definitely setting up the Death Hole. That's why he's taking damage.
So,
And mapping on purpose, that's required. That was not a mistake.
krelbel is still offline. I'm checking every minute or so. That heart is actually a problem. You have to wait for it to despawn.
Yeah, it happens. So he has to stand on an exact pixel for this setup, and this is a frame-perfect death within a Samaria pit. And so when you do it correctly like that, you get the fairy respawn, and the transition is corrupted, so he can just run over and transition to Argus. And Chex's boss fights are incredible. You can definitely tell he's put a lot of time into this game. Getting a messed up camera, sideways, hook dash strat. So that is the desert pendant, if anyone was curious. That is not the prize of Swamp.
Yeah, but the reason he left it on the floor and is picking it up now is entirely to take him to the front of Swamp Palace right now.
Yep, and he is going to do that Samaria hook push, which will take him to the Mothula super tile. And since Mothula is defeated, and he is going to enter that super tile in swamp state, he is going to get the swamp crystal. And that was very fast, too. Nicely done. And because the crystal was obtained in a Skullwoods room on the Mothula super tile, it warps you to Skullwoods, which is kind of funny. Especially if that wasn't opened, because we see that sometimes. It's just standing in the... whatever that is, the barrier.
Yeah, so we saw Chex pick up a blue potion that is likely for, well, I suppose it could be for a fake flute to do something in the Dark World, but that is a way to beat Cold Stare without having both the hammer and glove.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to ice right now.
So he can't use the potion to get there. It's wrong, and
he's going to stuck push through the wall here.
Yeah, and he needs it for the boss. So we're getting a hook push.
I think he was getting rid of sword beams there. Sword beams can be annoying for this style of hook pushing called stuck pushing. Maybe a hair too slow there. This could be a little tricky sometimes. Out of bombs almost. That's rough. You know, I did like your idea of doing the fake flute. Like, if I was him, I would really want to know what the Meyer medallion is.
All right, this is this is disappointing that he's buying bombs here, not just fluting to 8 to buy an upgrade. Get the upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, the upgrade is definitely a better investment, but he is weighing the risk versus reward of the time it takes. Which, I mean, I agree with you. It makes more sense to get the upgrade, but he's doing the riskier approach of buying bombs in town to save a few seconds, potentially, if he gets this.
Alright, so you said sword beat. Oh, there we go.
I mean, yeah, I don't fully understand that, but the sword beam does take up a slot in the Ancilla. And the slots do not always like empty out just because, or as soon as you would think they would be from the sword beams like disappearing. So it definitely does make it harder to do, but he got it. And we're in Cave State in Ice Palace. And he did make that check, which is interesting.
He still doesn't know if he has the Meyer medallion.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking he might fake flute to check that, or do something, because I have to think that there's nothing else in his mind that would, I mean, maybe he thinks a second bottle would be nice to have, or the Moon Pearl maybe would be, you know, slightly more efficient. It would speed things up a little bit, because otherwise I'd imagine he's going to do an overworld conveyor to Turtle Rock without the Moon Pearl. But, yeah, I'm just surprised he's not checking it, but it's not like anything he's doing doesn't make sense, though.
Yeah, you don't save a ton of time in Ice Palace go-moding versus just running through it.
Yeah, not with Icebreaker.
Yeah,
or either way, actually. I mean...
Yeah, we probably
no,
won't
he thought about that.
Well, he doesn't have a glove, so... Didn't think for too long.
Yeah.
We probably won't see Ice T, I would think, and I don't... if he has the big key, then I missed it. So I don't think he does.
Oh, yeah, Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, straight to the boss.
Okay, this is a spin YBA, and he's opening a text box on purpose.
I didn't see the sword. Oh, well, sometimes he does it backwards. Okay, yeah. We got it.
Yep. I think this is the first boss fight that went off script for him, but it was still quick. Well, crystal number 5. Where are we going now, Chex?
Yeah, I imagine we're gonna do Turtle Rock real quick. Why? He's using magic for some reason.
Oh, this could be setting up a fake flute, because he just healed, but if he used magic, he can use the potion.
He doesn't have anything in his
Oh, no, he
bottle.
doesn't have a potion.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
see, I...
just forgot.
Yeah. Yep. As soon as I started saying that, I realized that he only had one potion that he just used before now, but my reasoning for why he was doing the fire rod dash was correct. It's just that he didn't have a potion.
Yeah, so
It happens. He's just in a hurry.
yeah, so we're probably checking the Meyer medallion here, and then he's getting with that information. He'll either do Meyer right away, or go to Turtle Rock and get a few items along the way if he does not have them done, hoping for Quake, if it is in fact Quake.
Interesting that he chose to do it like to the east, because it's more lenient if you do it a west overworld YBA, or any YBA actually. It just happens that he's on the overworld right now.
And, I mean, it's an extra screen transition, and if you know the pixel, you know the pixel.
That is fair. That is definitely true.
Meyer medallion, survey says. We have it.
Ether. Just good old vanilla ether and a frozen bird.
Alright, so let's see. Does he have the big key? I think he does. I think we have that.
You
Yep.
marked it. I assume he does. But we have seen runners not use the big key in this dungeon before, as well as in Turtle Rock.
I think the
So
fastest,
we'll see what he does.
yeah, the fastest way. I don't know why he'd check any. I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why we'd check any chests. So I think we're just. Well, we are checking chests. Maybe
Oh,
that's
and he
exactly
gets a
what we
bottle.
wanted.
Oh my goodness, that is very unfortunate for him. Like that one on the way check happened to be one of the few items that could help him.
All right, put your favorite fish emote in chat. We've got the fishbone room. A little surprised he's going here. I would have thought the fastest way is going straight through the big key door and doing a push from there.
Yeah, that's a good point. He could have, in the large bridge room behind the big key door, he could have set up a zero-way stuck push. That would have taken him to Spooky 2, I believe, is the NMG name for that room, with the bombable wall and the anti-fairies with the pegs.
Yeah. We're doing something here, though. This is going to be... Where's this going to take? I think this is going to be the lobby right outside the boss room. Is that right?
The room with the stairs. Yeah,
okay.
you see. Spooky 3, I guess. Maybe I should learn NMG stuff someday, because those are the terms everybody uses. The zero cycle. Another well-executed, scripted boss fight from Chex.
Oh, should probably mark that second bottle, huh? There we go.
Okay, so I'd imagine he's going to do an overworld conveyor to get into Laser Bridge. This seems to be like a common thing amongst like the most advanced no logic runners. At least from what I've seen, if you don't have the Moon Pearl. And that's what we're seeing right now. He's misslotting a bomb, and you can see that he is constantly like scrolling down the screen. So he's gonna use this state to clip into the wall. And then he's gonna use it again over here to get into the Laser Bridge entrance.
Yeah, so I think this is, I mean, what we need is link state and access to Trinex. So your other options, ooh, Lionel is a problem here.
Yeah, I've seen this dance before with other runners. It's certainly negotiable, but it doesn't look fun.
Yeah, so your other options are a fake flute to get link state, then you climb the mountain and get to Turtle Rock that way. But otherwise, you want the Turtle Rock big key to traverse Turtle Rock. I don't know if there's any interior shenanigans that are fast. This just happens to be the fastest way to get to Tronics with this kit.
Yeah, there are a lot of options. Like, you could even like quadrant glitch through or bomb juke through pod, and if you want to bypass the big key door in the middle, you do a YBA. Or you could the fake flute. You already said you could do a spin Samaria from desert, which would also get you into the middle of Turtle Rock, and you can YBA past the big key door, and then just kind of do that second half of the dungeon normally. But if you know Overworld Conveyor, and are confident, this is definitely the fastest way with no Moon Pearl.
Alright, so Chex got pushed around a little there, so we will have a non-zero risk of death on Trinex.
Yeah, one hit will do 3 hearts of damage with Blue Mail. And he's setting up the stuck push right now.
So he has to reload that room to get the pots back.
Yep. He wanted the magic for just because. A little bit of safety. Oh, he's doing the fast setup. Nice. The safer way to do that would have been to wait until the bombs exploded and then set up the hook release as like a separate step, but he did it all in like one like procedure.
A little early. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to play it safe there, because he took a lot of effort to get to this point.
Using a potion for its unintended use in no logic.
So I'd imagine we're going to see a quadrant glitch in combination with a Samaria transition corruption to get to the Agatu fight from here.
Where's that quadra glitch going to be, though? First room or second?
I couldn't tell you which one he's going to do. We'll see right now.
First.
Oh, yeah, this whole charging the sword. Yep, you're right. Apparently, this is, if you execute this quickly, it is 6 or 7 seconds faster than doing the other one. But I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you how well that was done based on what I just saw, though. Because I don't do this setup. I do the other one.
So this is our way to Agatu. I was a little worried there about the camera, but we got it. So unfortunately, Krelbel is still offline. I would think if he hasn't said anything in any Discord, he could have gotten on his phone to do that, is the idea. If he hasn't done that, then he's still playing. So he probably hasn't
I'd
lost
imagine
power.
he's playing and recording. So Chex gets a 2-1-1-1-1, and unfortunately has not succeeded at doing the clipe. He could have clipped out of bounds there and saved a few seconds on the bat cutscene, which just looks really cool, I think, personally. Into the Ganon fight, though. Nice hookless 1-on-1 setup. I really like this strat. I have a few teleports scanning. I was kidding. Don't have any more teleports. Please. Heroes in the light world.
Let's see, where could that be? That
It could be pedestal.
I think that's a different hint. It could definitely be Sahasrara, I think.
No, it would say light or light world for pedestal. In entrance rando, it would say at the pedestal.
One of the many reasons why entrance is superior. The other reason
I do like those old hints.
The other reason being it disables fake worlds. Don't at me.
What a controversial opinion, and GG for Chex. Chex has finished with an official time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 58 seconds. Incredible.
So we're going to assume he won this race.
Well,
Krebel.
krelbel has not marked himself done. Well, I guess he can't if he has no internet, but
No, I'm being told that he is showing online in Discord. His stream is not up. So he's not forfeiting right away, at least, though. So we will see about getting Chex in for an interview. Looks like he is already queued up. And there he is.
GG checks.
GG.
Yeah, so we're going to assume it was a GG. Unfortunately, Krebel's stream cut out at the 30-minute mark during a statue drag.
Oh no.
So we don't know what happened there. He is at the very least not forfeiting, but we don't know.
That's too bad.
So on your side, sort of uneventful seed, maybe? How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it did feel a little straightforward. Hook pushing sort of available, and maybe didn't need to check as many items as I did, but pretty much.
Yeah, that was
I
a
don't know what
pretty
to say.
that was a dirty pickup of that bottle in the spike chest in Meyer.
Yeah, that was pretty silly, and it probably slowed me down ultimately.
Yeah, so we were wondering, you, let's see, you saw that Bombos was on Ether Tablet, then you got a bottle off of Bombos Tablet, and we were wondering if you were going to dupe that Ether Tablet bottle, or excuse me, Bombos Tablet bottle.
So I don't know how, but I assume it's just like any other overworld item. So I don't know
All
for
right.
sure whether that would be very easy or safe to do.
Yeah, okay, so you just hadn't done it before, didn't know for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, so Taj was saying the other day that Bombos Tablet is the default tablet. So if there's something on Bombos Tablet, you just dupe it at Ether Tablet by doing a regular old YBA away from Ether Tablet to East Death Mountain. And you check Ether and you get the Bombos tablet item.
Okay, we'll have to try that. I didn't remember that it was those steps. That is pretty strange, but it
Yep.
makes sense given the explanation.
Yeah, so someone was asking whether that would, they think maybe, I think it was Tam, that might be a hard lock in vanilla and somehow not in rando, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, so let's see. Was lamp go mode, or were you thinking about it before then?
I'm not certain. I believe lamp was go mode for sure. And Ice Palace was hard to deal with. Otherwise, not sure how I would do Ice Palace if I didn't have hook pushing into the well.
Oh, right.
Probably
So,
something I'm not thinking of, but it would be hard. Oh,
yeah.
overworld conveyor. That's how we would do it. It would be like a bunny DMD across the entire dark world or something. It might be
Yeah,
possible, but really difficult.
we were also wondering if we might see some index setting with bomb walls.
Oh no, I don't do that.
Well, that was
I'll
before the
learn.
lamp showed up.
Ah,
Yeah, so I think we're going to have to assume that you did in fact beat krelbel in this game. I think anyway the official condition is saying done in race time. So it looks like you are moving on to face Krithel.
oh my gosh, that is a fearsome opponent.
I'm sure he thinks the same about you, though.
Well, those will be some great rando races, so hopefully I'll be competitive. So will be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, you have any? I'm not sure quite what we want to do here. I think maybe we should complete this stream here, despite the fact that krelbel is not. That we don't know what's going on with krelbel, but I don't know if what we want to broadcast is a frozen screen until who knows what. So, do you have any last thoughts about the seed checks?
All vanilla, Light World dungeons, except I think Hera and Desert were swapped. I'm
Yeah,
not.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Green Pendant Eastern. Um, I don't really have any other thoughts about that. Um, just looking at the dungeons. Yeah, pretty fun seed overall. So yeah, I'm glad you were able to commentate. So thanks everyone.
Yeah, Chex, I just wanted to take a second to compliment your execution on the seed. It was just great to watch. I think like only a couple of your boss fights like went off script. Like just overall, that was just very fast and very well done. I enjoyed watching it and calming it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you enjoy having that Mothula in a random no logic race instead of an NMG.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It was fine.
All right, so I'm being told by our tournament administrator that theoretically krelbel could upload a VOD showing he finished faster and win. Seems unlikely given the strong time by Chex here.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be the one to say it, but yeah, with all due respect to krelbel, that time is hard to beat.
Yeah, so I believe we will end it here. We have another no logic match later this evening, about a little more than a half hour from now. Foxless versus Malmo on SpeedGaming 3. Let's see. And that would be it for tonight. So catch that one if you can. Should be a fun game. It will be tragic if they get yet another tree warp seed in which neither of them tree warps.
You and your controversial opinions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we all enjoy watching Sword Go mode for half an hour? Could have just got us another sword.
Touche.
Anyway, so thank you to to our restreamer. I think that was Durasi, our helper. Thank you to JD, and thank you to our tracker, me. And good game to Chex, presumably good game to krelbel. And that'll be it for me.
Thank you, Haiku Type, and thanks for watching, everyone.